Welcome to another massive drums live for the Beat 103.6 FM. We have one of the major individuals. I'm going to say one of the top three contenders, maybe number one in that region. He's like one of the biggest guys out there as far as I'm concerned on a European platitude. And I'm really happy to have him join me. He's a very nice fellow, as we say in the UK language. His name is Prince Kaybee. Thank you for joining me, sir. How are you doing? How's your day today?
I'm fine, man. How are you?
I'm blessed, sir. I'm blessed, even more blessed that you've joined us so we can, chop it up, as you might say, and get to know a little bit about Prince Kaybee for the channel and also for yourself as well. You've got new music coming out. I'm excited to talk about that and lots of other things as well.
Yeah. Thank you for having me, man. Really appreciate it.
No problem, brother. No problem. Okay, so let's talk about Kaybee and the music. When did music first become a thing for Prince Kaybee?
Music in my life came very late. Damn, bro, like it's not like a deep story where some people I know say my mom was singing, my dad was singing, or someone in the relative chain somehow had an idea about music. But with me, it's totally different. For me, also, I don't think I'm talented. I think it's a skill that I managed to perfect. It's something that I decided to do. There was no calling of any sort. So very late in my life, I think I was in grade 11. What do you call grades there in the UK?
I think we still got the grades as well. Yeah, I still the same. I think everyone's gone with the grades now.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so I was in grade 11, high school. It's like 2 years left of my school years, and I started making music or being interested in music from my English teacher at the time. He used to bump some dope house tunes, and I would be like, "What's this?" And took a lot of interest from that, and then here I am today.
Awesome. So you traveled from there. You kind of like, what was the star like? The discovery that shined put the light on your star, as you might say.
I don't know, like something. I think it's mostly like there was a TV show on SABC One, our channel here in South Africa. It had it's a competition. It had producers from all over the country where they come, they kill their set and produce music. It ran for 4 weeks, where each and every week you get new challenges. Produce a song in an hour, produce a song in 30 minutes. Here's a choir. How can you be creative with a choir and all these other things? One that's DJ competition, and that's when everything started to go crazy.
Yeah. Did it kind of kick off straight away, or did it, because sometimes people come off with the shows of that nature and it doesn't really happen straight away. It takes a couple of years or else. Did it start straight away from you?
Yeah, straight away. I think before the competition, I had a bit of momentum. So for other people, they get on the show, they're new, people don't know them, and all these kind of things. But I had a bit of momentum. I had songs out on SoundCloud, and there was a song of mine called, there is a song of mine called Wajellwa that was still, banging the streets at the time, and they connected the face with the music, and everything just.
Awesome. Do you think that helped you, being that you had the music there already and they connected the faith? Did you think that helped your transition and rise into the public eye?
Of course, sometimes you get songs that travel way ahead of the brand. That's a bad thing, because catching up is always a problem. The time you catch up to your song and people know you, that time the song is not really that popular. Now you have to come up with new stuff, and but it's you kind of work under pressure. So for me, being on TV and doing this competition while my music is in the streets, I caught up to the music really quick, because I was on the screen every week. It's got 5 million viewers that show, and we were young, experimenting, having a lot of fun, but at the same time, it was a start of my career.
How did you handle fame at that time? Something new to you, you're relatively not well known, and then suddenly, badoosh, there you are in the public eye. How was that as a person handling that?
Um, I don't know. At the time I started, the fame wasn't really that hectic. I think I mean, not four, man, three, or you can say 2 years into my career, that's when everything started going crazy, where the DM starts, getting
Yeah.
kind of a mess. So I think at the time I had already, seen a lot of things. I met a lot of people that have advised me, against all that drama when it comes to women and all these other things, or maybe altercations on, in the DMs and whatever the case. So the time it started getting hectic, I had a bit of experience. I've got my mistakes and all those things, but it didn't hit me as hard as it would hit other people.
Totally understandable. Totally understandable. From my understanding, you come from a very large family, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many siblings do you have?
35. So
Whoa, that's wow. How is
yeah,
that having that kind of do you all connect and like meet each other up and stuff on each other? How is that?
we don't meet, we don't get along. Only because of family politics. When your dad has got a couple of wives, and you guys have to like now know each other from another
Yeah.
mother. This one has got their own mother, and that one. There's quite a few politics when it comes to those kind of standards as far as the family is concerned. Because my the last wife, and she was the one that my dad stayed with, and it wasn't taken well by other ladies that were part of this this
Family.
this big family. So yeah, so we don't get along. And when my dad passed away, it was just a mess where people started coming and saying all these things. So my siblings, we don't get along at all. Everything that I'm doing or the support that I get is from my girlfriend or my mother. I hear about them somewhere, and then some of them try to reach out. But I'm scared of that kind of reaching out now. They didn't before. Now that I'm on TV and stuff, everyone is like, "Yo, we want to be in your space." So for me, that's a bit dangerous, and yeah, it is
Yeah.
what it is.
No, I hear you. I hear you. I hear that. So beyond that, you've built yourself into a shining star and beacon for the South African community. Along that comes with a little bit of what would you say, things that you like doing for yourself, all right. And I believe you're an avid car collector.
Bro, I love cars. Even right now, look, I was racing.
That's what you're doing. I was wondering what.
So I've got a room that has got my gym, as you can see in the background there. And got this souls here where I practice, tracks, and not tracks as in like songs, like circuits.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Lewis Hamilton.
yeah, Lewis Hamilton vibe. So I do that a lot. I race online a lot. Also, I've got a team locally here where I race track, a real track. So I'm really into motorsport, and it's something that I really love.
Are you an e gamer as well? Do you race in a team online?
Online, there's no teams per se, but you can race as an individual online. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay, let's ask you, what's your favorite car currently then? Or what car that you own currently?
A Mercedes, bro. Like I love the Mercedes, but I've actually found new love for the Ferrari.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was in one of my mates' Ferraris, and I was blown away. So I was like, oh okay, this is not bad.
Maybe put
Yeah,
one away for Christmas or something like very soon, or maybe the summer.
yeah, bro. You guys must buy music so that we cop the nice. Yeah.
Get on to music. Let's talk about some of the older tracks and stuff. What's one of the ones that you thought really put KB on the map? You had the first one, Wajellwa, but what was the one that actually you said to yourself, okay, now Prince Kaybee has arrived?
I think the song Charlotte with Lady Zamar, that dropped in 2017, I was it was that song that really opened up, the people to a DJ and a producer that has got so many like features. Like I'm one person that likes working with what's that, vocalists, because I like radio. I like being on radio all the time. So I hardly like release instrumentals. So that has always been a thing.
I think we lost you there. You coming back?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you had a phone call, right?
Yeah, I think I need to. How do you? I need to stay off the call and just focus on the Wi-Fi. Yeah,
Take
I
off
think
your
I'm fine.
data. Take off your data.
Yeah, I just switched it off. Yeah, sorry about that, bro. Sorry.
That's okay, bro.
So yeah, so like I've always been that guy where I want to feature people on songs and have a kind of a sing-along type of vibe, and yeah, that's what has made me also different from a lot of people. And 2017 was the year where that song, like, it took off and it opened so many doors. Yeah.
Awesome. Lady Zamara's got a funny way of performing, doesn't she? Tell me about that, because he performs in a certain way, doesn't she? She doesn't wear any kind of slippers or shoes or something like that. Is that correct?
No, I've never. I think
Lady X.
Yeah, maybe it's Lady X, and also I've never seen Lady X perform or anything like that. But Zama has got clothes on. Trust me when she performs.
Oh no, I know. No, Lady Zama always performs in clothes. I don't want her to come for me. Lady Zama, I know you perform in clothes. I may have got it confused. I think it may be Lady X.
Yeah, I think it confused me with someone else, yeah.
Lady X has the one that she doesn't perform in shoes. That's what it is. She performs.
Oh, okay, cool.
My apologies.
That's actually interesting. I didn't know that.
Okay, I'm trying to do my research out here.
Yeah.
So sorry, Lady Zama. So
no,
tell
it's
me,
all good.
So tell me, when you're working in the studio, or you're in the studio with a person or a singer, what things do you look for to connect and make happen in the studio to build the track that you're trying to do at that
time? First of all, energy is important. It's one thing to work with someone and force things, but it's completely comfortable to work with someone that understands the ideas that you want to implement or put on a song. And talent, I always tell people, like, it's not really that difficult to identify someone that can sing. You can hear someone that's got a tone, that can hold a note. It's not really that difficult, because also technology has made life so easy. I can literally make you sound nice. So I'm not saying people that I work with can sing. I'm just saying that you can literally make the voice even sound like heaven. So talent first of all, and then energy. For me, that's what I look for. And songwriting is very important. If you don't have that, I don't think you and I can work.
Definitely. For those who wanted to work with Prince Kaybee, make sure you have those 3 attributes before you jump in the DMs.
Yeah.
Do you find that your DMs packs up with lots of attention from the other sex, as you might say?
Yeah, it's quite a lot, and it's a sensitive issue actually, because sometimes when someone is genuinely trying to get into the industry, they're being taken advantage of. Like, we're going through a time here in South Africa where women are being abused, raped, and and done all these things. And music and DJs and producers are one of the people that lure women into the studio just for sex and whatever the case. And you find out later that they not really, want to release your music and stuff. So it's a very, very sensitive issue, and I prefer not to have too much to say about it, because women are going through a lot as far as that is concerned. But sometimes you do get people that literally are there for fun and games, like women that will just text you and send you news and whatever. That I get, but when it comes to using them for music, it's something very sensitive and we need to look out for.
You've actually said something. You actually came out again that said that the men need to I forgot the quote that you actually said, but something against men using that kind of power and abusing that power. And you said that should be stopped. Something that you've said in the past, and full respect for you. Something that we've been concentrating here on the Drums Radio as well. Definitely that needs to be cut out of the industry. We need to have everybody on a 50-50 level of professionalism. So I commend you and thank you also for standing out in that manner as well, and using your voice and your platform to do that as well, sir.
Thanks, Majid.
No problem. Right. So okay. So you, not being one, you actually were stalked. Was that correct? You had a stalking situation happen around you, or is it a number of times?
Yeah, I get that quite a few times, but it's not crazy stalking. Paparazzi in South Africa or fans this side are not really that hectic where people are outside your gate or they follow you, wherever you go and stuff. The stalking is cyber stalking, of which can be dangerous, but it never goes further than that in South Africa. I don't know with other artists, but with me, cyber stalking is just, someone that keeps on, texting you every morning like you guys are dating. They start printing T-shirts.
Oh, wow.
They start doing all these things, and then it gets to a point where when you start feeling uncomfortable about it and you address it, they start getting aggressive, and the only way to end it is for you to block them. And it has always been like that. It has never gone beyond the blocking.
Thankfully.
Thankfully, and after I block them, I never see them again. And it has been happening for the past 6 years. So it doesn't go beyond that.
Happy that it hasn't as well. Tell us a little about your because your Better Days track. Tell us a little bit about that and how that came about and the feeling.
Better Days is one of the songs that really, I think that was some sort of a street cred kind of, situation where people are like, he's dope, so So for me, that was street cred and, something to boast about in a positive manner, especially when you have like these producer talks and people want to know how a song came about, what you used, the little that you had, you managed to do such a beautiful song. Because that song came where I didn't have shelter. I was sleeping behind the club where I was playing. So at the back offices where they keep like their books and stuff, I would sleep there or a laptop, sound card, and headphones that I used to play with. That's when I produced that song. So it's always something that I boast about. To have such quality at those kind of surroundings is a blessing. So the song, first of all, I'm not a writer. I don't know how to write music, words, lyrics, whatever the case. So there's a lady called Audrey that came on the song. It's literally like she was in my head, or she saw my situation, and she named the song Better Days, and she wrote that, and that was amazing.
Yeah, an amazing track, something that we've been rocking here in the UK as well. So it's been big. Tell us about some of the journeys that you've taken. I mean, because you've been abroad, clearly. Which are your favorite spaces that you've been to abroad?
Favorite spaces: Manchester, London, Greece is dope. I love how the Greece, they literally. It's not like South Africa. In South Africa, the way you build a brand, and you get when an MC is on stage trying to introduce you to the crowd, already psychologically it fucks up with, hey, am I allowed to swear here?
I'll edit it out.
Sorry about that. So psychologically, when you have like 15,000 people in front of you, and here in South Africa, and someone shouts out your name, up next, Prince Kaybee. So they already know your songs. 90% of the people there like you. It will be like 20% or 10% that don't like you. So it becomes overwhelming for them, for you to be there, because you're a South African artist and they know so much about you. So it's like they overlook a lot of things, like performance, how you perform, and I always have a problem with that as an artist. Like your brand makes people overlook how you can perform and how good you are. That's a topic for another day, though. But now, now you get to places like Greece, like people look at you when someone shouts out your name. They're like, "Okay, what can he do?" So I like that kind of challenge where, you know, people 3, 4 songs into your set, they start vibing. They don't get crazy just before you start because you've already won them over. You know, so you win them over with your performance. I like that kind of challenge. I've been to many spaces in Greece, and it's like they have the same attributes. Yeah, other spaces in abroad, African countries are so dope. Zimbabwe is amazing. Um, Zimbabwe for me in Africa has got the biggest house dance music scene. I know South Africa or Africa is known for Afrobeat and all those things. But you get to Zimbabwe, bro, like the dance culture there is amazing. It's amazing. So and Kenya as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. Shouts out Kenya, who's been growing a massive sort of Afrohouse scene. It's mad out
Yeah,
there.
Kenya is crazy. It's mad. It's mad, bro. It's mad.
So yeah, so shouts out Saint Evo. I done an interview with a couple of weeks ago about that as well.
Yeah.
Just jumping back, have you had a chance to be to venture into Angola yet?
No, I haven't. I haven't done Angola, and a lot of people, also DJs there, have reached out, you know, for collaboration and stuff because we're big into Afro house as well. That's what I hear, but
Yeah.
I can't even say much.
Yeah, they've definitely got kind of a certain Angolan influence, Portuguese kind of influence, a fastest type beat, but it's definitely slowing down and becoming more of the South African European type sound, which is really interesting as it grows over there. So looking forward to see it. Maybe we'll see a Prince Kaybee and DJ link up, and it will be something amazing. You know, maybe the idea started here. So
yeah, I would love to go there, man. I would love to.
So okay, you're also a how do I put this wording? I'm trying to think of the correct terminology to use, and it's you've won a number of awards at these summer
awards and Metro FM awards, and
yeah. What is it like being receiving and being voted by the public as well, just to say this is, you know, the person that we vote for the best of this? What's that feeling like, you know, being perceived in that way?
I've got a different approach when it comes to awards. How do you even judge music? You know, for me, it has always baffled me. Like, how is the next song better than the other one? Because, I mean, it's music. It gives you different feelings. You know, so awards for me, I'm not too sure about awards and the criteria of it. You know. It takes away from the art. It makes other music seem like they're not music. You know, it's like you can't be number one in music. That's what I think. You can't be number one in music. You can be number one in your performances and whatever, but we can't say this song is better than this one. I don't think we are able to do that. You know, but that's also a topic for another day. So when I get an award, for me, it's like, okay, this is recognition for what you've done. It's not saying you're the best. You know, I feel like it's people saying, okay, we realize and recognize you. Here's an award. You know, I know the category will be like best remix, best this, best that. There's no best that or best whatever. I feel like music to people, because to you there will be a song that's the world's greatest, but to me it's not. So, bro, I think it's very difficult to judge music from that point, but it makes me feel like I'm being awarded for the hard work that I've been putting in. I don't feel like I'm being awarded for being the best in whatever I'm doing.
Yeah. Okay, I hear that, and thank you for that. Do you think? I mean, you're one of the people that have actually been outspoken also in the instance of how overseas artists are perceived in South Africa, and how you can help the artists, the younger artists in South Africa. Talk to us a little bit about that.
So it's quite a complex issue, because you work so hard and you start getting this recognition from all over the world. You forget where you started, and there's quite a lot of people just like you that need the same help, and we get so consumed by what do people outside of my country think about me. what must I do to be more appealing to these people? And I think that's where we lose focus a bit as Africans, and we need to tap into bringing back the glory home. Instead of like always giving out to the Rihannas of the world and the Drakes and the whoever's. They must come and give back to us, because right now African music is at a very good space. You get people like the Burna Boys of the world, winning Grammys, and it's a very interesting, exciting space to be right now. All we can do is take that back home, instead of saying, okay, I've got a Grammy, now I need to go feature Sam Smith. Like, I mean, come on, you've got a Grammy just like Sam Smith or whoever the case. So you are there. So now you must bring it back to us and take someone else to the Grammys with you. So that's my point of view, of which it I don't know, it makes me like, I'm not sure about the international dream anymore. I think there's things I need to think about, and the business model of it. But for now, Africa first before anything else, and we're trying to put that to the world so that we can play at level field with other people and around the world musically.
Do you think the opportunities in Africa are limited when it comes to not escaping, but being perceived outside of the continent?
Yeah, it's all a mindset thing, man. Like the continent as a whole is perceived as a jungle, and people there don't wear clothes. People there are always around lions, and they're never perceived as this modern generation that's really talented. That's really putting out great music. It's acceptable here and there, but I feel it's not enough. So it's a mindset thing that we need to look into as Africans, and how you tell your story also is very important outside of South Africa. So yeah, it's a we were not here, bro, like 10 years ago. So that's a sign of growth.
Yeah.
So we're getting there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and so thanks for sharing that again. Once again, opening up things that we definitely need to change. Well, what do we need to change? What should we do? I mean, what things could change the situations that we're in currently?
Musically, as far as the art is concerned, I think we need more purists. Like, when I say purist, I feel like we need people that look at people that go out of bounds a bit. I feel like music sometimes got mediocre things happening inside it, of which is unnecessary, delays the process of growth in a way. So we need more purists that are going to put people in line. And I'm not saying there's rules or anything like that. With art, there's no rules, because anything can happen. You look at the situation in South Africa where Amapiano has taken over, So anything can happen. It's just that we need to stick to the guidelines that can grow the brand, So I think some of the people that die poor, and whatever the case, it's a matter of not sticking to the guidelines of being a pure artist. Anything outside of the art is actually a lot of noise that doesn't make sense. People should stay in the art. And one more example is that you get an artist that releases here in South Africa. I don't know about you guys that side. You get an artist that releases one song, it becomes very, very successful, and the artist now all of a sudden is in the club all the time. They're doing all these things outside of art, but they forget the art is the main thing that got them there. It's like being a doctor, it's like being a soccer player. You need to hone your skills. You need to always be in studio. Like right now, when I practice this driving thing, I want to be the best, there is. Not the best there is, too late, but, with the time that I have. So those artists that release songs and they forget the art is what we need to change. We need purists. Like I say, I don't have any better word to articulate that. I feel like we need people that are pure within the art, more of them that can guide whoever is coming in. And also, it's very difficult, bro. Like, when someone is coining it and having so much money and it's the biggest artist ever, it's very hard for them to take advice. They don't take advice easy because they are big, now they're famous, and so also that thin line between taking advice and thinking people want what you have, that is very, very tricky, and we need to change that as well.
Yeah, definitely. Do you think your passion to be a professional and to always be the best at what you do is something that's driven you to where you are now?
Yeah, also a lot of inspiration from my peers. I look at a lot of people, not even in music, like even in sports, uh, even in broadcasting, like podcasts or whatever. Like, there's a lot of things that can inspire you. Social media is not really that bad. I know there's a lot of things that happen on social media where it's crazy, especially Twitter. But there's quite a lot of inspiration that you can pick up from all these social outlets, and can grow as a person.
Yeah. You spoke earlier on and you said that Amapiano has taken over South Africa. I mean, for us as an experience, for globally, it's actually impacting heavily here in the UK as well as around the world as well. What is your take on that?
I love that. I've been waiting for this kind of thing to happen for the longest time. There's no longer one person that dominates. It's like a lot of them. So also, I'm a piano. Imagine an artist. Remember when an artist comes up and they become successful, they hire makeup artist, video guy, they hire road manager, bookings manager. So imagine the job opportunities that have been happening in South Africa ever since Amapiano came up. All these artists, got all these personnel that they've hired in the economy and whatever the case. So for me, from that point of view, great. But it sometimes it gets to a point where it's an influx. It's congested, and you can't really tell what's quality and what's not. There's quite a lot of things that are happening. Some people do it just for the wave. Like I
Yeah.
said, some people, it's not really about how pure it is in their heart. It's just, okay, this is what's happening now. Let me do it.
Yeah.
And what you do with that, maybe you get someone that has got a lot of money to push themselves, and then you block the ones that are really talented. So that also makes it very difficult for us to see who's real and who's not. And yeah, but for me, wholeheartedly, generally, I think it's a good thing. It's the best thing that has ever happened to South African music. The competition is there. You work harder now because, trust me, bro, here in South Africa, when you release a dance house song, it must be really, really, really special because the Amapiano guys have taken over. You cannot live in the mainstream area here in South Africa if your song is not special.
Hey. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Do you think that because the guys have been the Amapiano has been such a and bringing in loads of jobs and artists and all that stuff, do you think there's lessons to be learned from individuals that are doing sort of the Afrohouse, which is sometimes deemed a more of a what would I say, more of a smaller genre in some instances, but still larger genre in the worldwide global things?
Bro, like for me, I think the Afrohouse, how do you say it, circle has existed way before Amapiano. So I don't think there's much to learn from Amapiano. What the Amapiano guys are doing now, actually, remember they are new, right? So it's a whole new business model.
Yeah.
They are mistakes because it's something new they're trying out. It's a trial and error thing. But the way the wave is so big, the time they learn from these mistakes and become better people, they'll still have a chance because the wave is huge. I don't see it dying down anytime soon. So for the Afro guys, I think the only thing they must learn is to go mainstream because Afro house is always like, you keep your head down, that responsive, you're really
Yeah.
quiet. I think that's being humble for some weird reason, but that's also a topic for another day. But I feel like they're not outspoken people. So it's very hard to make it mainstream if you are not outspoken.
That's okay.
An introvert cannot survive outside. So with Amapiano guys, they are nowhere near being an introvert. They are open people. They dance, they dress different, they speak different. They are out there. So the Afro guys, I think they are still cool their culture. If they do want to mainstream, there's quite a lot to learn from the Amapiano. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, for me, I feel like the Afrohouse guys don't do videos. They don't push themselves branding wise. They don't build the brand. Amapiano guys are definitely building their brand. They kind of got it right in their heads that they got to be seen to make things happen. And I think we as Afrohouse guys tend to not do that as much as best as we can do. We could do more of it. Some of us do. Some of us just not at all. It's not there. So, I mean, for yourself, you've always created videos. You've always been out there in the limelight and pushing yourself forward. How has that experience been? You know, let's talk about the very first time you put a video together, because that's always like where people learn the first time how it feels and how, you know, being on the camera. So what was that experience like?
I've always from very early stages in my career, I've always wanted to dominate showbiz. I didn't think that I'm going to be here as someone that's quiet, you know. Let me just give you music, and you know, although when you are an introvert, especially when you're thrown into a space of like this, the industry, there's a few things you need to change with your life, how you speak, how you address people, how you carry yourself, you know. So for me, started off very slow as far as the personality is concerned, but I had to learn new things, you know. So with dominating showbiz comes a lot of photos, a lot of videos, a lot of dressing up, a lot of acting, comes a lot of things that are way outside of your comfort zone. So my first video was way out of my comfort zone. My first video is the Better Days video. I had to do a bit of acting. I don't know if you've watched that video. Yo, bro, like it was a mess. First time putting on makeup. It was crazy. So there's quite a lot of things that you need to pick up. It's either you pick them up or you don't. If you don't, you'll suffer somewhere financially. But if you do pick everything up, you make all the money that you need to make in the entertainment industry.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that I've been watching the videos and the rise. You've been continually rising over the number of years. One of the tracks that I think kind of like maybe gave you that another boost to another level was Gugu. I can't say this word properly. I never say it properly. Please help me.
Google it.
Google it.
Yeah, layer 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that and how all that came about.
That song was an instrumental song by Afro Brothers, but it didn't have the attributes to be a big song. I heard that song on my WhatsApp. I think DJ Sabta sent it to me, you know, and I was going through songs. I remember I was on my way to a really big show and I wanted to sound different. And I looked through my WhatsApps, looked through my hard drives, everything, and then I bumped into the song and I asked Sabta who produced the song, and I told him this song is not enough, you know. There's potential. If you can send me the separates of the song, I'd like to change a few things and, you know, add a few things and change the key a bit, because there were some things that were out of pitch and stuff like that. And yeah, send me the song. Did the keys on the song, drums on the song, added vocals because it was an instrumental. Just like what we touched on now with Afrohouse guys, they want instrumentals. They just want to be left alone in the little home studio. You know, not really about that life. So I had to change a lot and bring out the best in that song. And then we released the song, and it took off like literally the day of release. It was gone.
Yeah. Is that one of the ones that people react to like the fastest out of the ones that you've done? I mean, you've done many, so I'm just trying to think to try and find a balance on where it's at.
In my catalog, the one song that people react to quickest and that will never die when I play it is Wajellwa. Like, it never goes wrong, bro. Like, I can play that song anywhere in the world. But sometimes I play Google it to people are like, okay, we've heard this song, now boring, whatever. Or maybe I'll play like Fetch Your Life, and people are like, Yeah, we've heard motivational words for too long. We want to dance. Those kind of things. But there's one song that I play, which is Wajellwa. Anywhere, anytime in the world, people react.
Yeah, awesome
Yeah.
track. So, lockdown, how has it been treating you? And we know you've been busy in the studio, and we're going to get into that in a moment. But how has the lockdown been treating you?
Oh, bro, lockdown financially for me, I don't think it's a good thing, especially for artists. It goes very, very deep into your pocket because there's no live shows, so that stream of income is literally taken away just like that.
Yeah.
As far as being creative, I think lockdown has done amazing. You get to experiment a lot. You spend a lot of time alone, indoors, So yeah, studio time, yes, but livelihoods of artists, especially people that have families, kids, it's quite a lot, and you have to now tell those people, yo, I can't make money. Oh, you've hired a few people, and now you have to like let them go. That's not nice, bro.
Mm.
So yeah, lockdown is not a like generally. I don't think it was good for anyone.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. I think the only good thing that's come out of it has been that people have had time to be inside of the studio and be creative.
Yeah,
That's about it. The rest of the stuff it's just been really a nightmare.
yeah.
So tell us about the activity on this. What should we call it? The project, album, the next level? Or how do you want to sort of like
Which one? My album that's out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my album is titled The Fourth Republic. Compiled it, I think, for 2 years. Uh, Also, COVID made it very difficult for people to come in studio.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the cyber working for me, even meetings, like these kind of meetings, like, hey, I can't even hold my phone, like, still. So, these kind of things for me, like, they irritate me so much. So, they had to like we had to like cyber work, send vocals, and then they record where they are, send back. You don't like it, which is something you could have changed when you're in studio. Something you could have changed instantly, and we decide on it on an idea and we work on it. But now with the recording, when I'm not there, you send something I don't like it, send back. So the process is longer. Uh, so yeah, that's how we've been working, and it took 2 years to compile the album, and yeah, that's it.
Okay, so the period's taken quite a while, but it's something that I think you spent time processing, and it shows a lot of feelings and stuff like that. What are sort of the tracks, or which tracks do you think lead the way on the new album?
I've got favorites, but obviously people have got their own favorites. That's where the numbers game come in. So,
No, but
so
let's talk about your favorites first before we go into the numbers games. What is the Prince Kaybee like? This is the one that holds a special place.
there's a song called Umeni Dosha. I don't know if you've listened to it, from a lady in Kenya. A lady in Kenya. Her name is Paula Reese. So that's my favorite song in the album. There's something about that song and the music and how it came about. I literally uploaded the beat on Twitter, and she just took it and recorded, because I like showing people how I make music. So it was just one of those days where I'm just recording and showing people what I do. And she took that, extracted the audio from the video, put it in studio. She recorded, she uploaded it back on Twitter. And I was like, what the fuck? So, and then I put it on the album. So that's the story behind the song, and the song itself. It's an amazing song.
No, it's an amazing story as well. I actually didn't know it was done that way, so it's amazing.
Yeah.
Let's for me, I'm listening to it, and I'm gonna listen to it first. What other ones, from that? So then you've discovered that you've helped somebody else. As I say, helping people seems to be something that you do a lot of as well. Helping individuals and other stars coming through and new people coming through.
Yeah.
Pushing in that journey. So you've done that. What are some of the other tracks after that you can sort of say yourself, these are the ones that kind of represent who KB is now, rather than who he was when you first began, because you've grown, you've matured, different things have happened. What are the other ones that have reached that mark?
The single that I have out, titled the Iba Bio, is I featured Nogwazi on the song. That's a beautiful song for me. It's a song that, it gives me so many mixed emotions, and I can't really behave around the song. So for me, it's a beautiful song. Yeah, and then from there, it's quite a diverse album. I need to get into certain moods for me to explain other songs or maybe listen to them because it's very diverse.
Hmm.
Yeah, so the album, like I said, is a 24-track album.
Yeah.
That's a lot of music for me. I've never done a 24-track album. I've only done for my past three albums either. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Either 10 or 11 songs. Anything else for me was too much. But I had so much time because of COVID to work on music. I was like, let me rather like give them like this 24-track album. Yeah.
Okay. So when you worked on the 24 night, delivering 24 tracks and this kind of thing, it shows a lot of emotions. But the 2 year period allowing the COVID allowed you to do that as well. Do you think, because what I may be getting at is that, explain to us a little bit about the cover art on your album, because you put a cover art album up and there's another reasoning behind that, isn't there? There's something.
Yeah, so the cover art of the album is pictures of people that support and love the music. Unfortunately, I can't get like millions and millions of people on the cover. The space is too small. But we reached out to the fans and asked them to send us pictures, and then we took the ones that we can take and put it on the album. And it's a people's inspired album. It's I always get very cringy when I have to call people fans. I don't know why. I don't know why. So I think it's a people's inspired album. The people that have been there from the beginning up until now. So it's not really my album. Like I know I was experimenting a lot, but all the time in my head it was like, what do people want? What do people like? How can I make sure that I make them happy? So all the time they were in my head, and I decided to put the cherry on top. Let me rather make the cover of the album consist of their faces.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you ever think about releasing something with just unreleased artists? Something which you just thought to yourself, okay, I just want brand new people who have never been any attribution or things.
Release like new like stuff that didn't make it on the album, or
Yeah, stuff that you never made on the album. Plus, people that have never, just picking people from YouTube that you just 10 people from YouTube, and you go, I'm going to work with these 10, and I'm going to release something from each of them.
yeah, but I've got something like that already. I've got a project called Project Hope, where I took 10 ladies on Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
for them to submit videos. They submitted videos. I chose 10, and then we compiled an album for them. The album
Okay.
is also called Project Hope.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was season 1. So we're trying to work on Project Hope season 2, and see where we can take it, how many seasons we can do, how many people we can grow, how many people we can introduce to the industry, and all those things. But it was basically around women, because in South Africa, from the top of your head, even if I ask you who is the best in the country, who's the best woman in the country, it's something you have to think about. It's like, huh? Okay. So that's a problem. But if you say who's the best guy in the country, you can literally just pick from the top of your head. So we
Yeah.
really need more women in the industry, so that when you ask someone who's the
So,
best in the industry, you can just say that without thinking.
yeah, I think we just lost it a little there. I might have.
Yeah.
So you worked with and I'm trying to get this story right in my head quickly. So Barack Obama has listened to one of your tracks and it went out on his playlist.
Yeah.
And you worked alongside Shimza,
Amifaku and
Ami
Shimza
Fuku,
and Black Motion.
and Black Motion. How was that? And I spoke to Ami a few weeks back as well, and she was like really excited she said about working with you guys and stuff. How was that kind of experience?
Well, I had the song already. The song was already done. I called in Ami for a recording. She recorded, but this other time I was having a braai. with Black Motion and Shimza, and I saw the studio and I was like, guys, why don't we work on a song? They're like, no, we're not in the mood. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, there's a song already. So what we can do is we can make it a feature and grow as a collective, because I feel like people like seeing people work together.
They do.
So yeah, so I decided to do that. I went back to my house, picked up the song, added a few drums here and there, and the guitar as well. And shout out to Tejo. His name is Tejo. That did the guitar on that song, and yeah, man, the song. We released that song, I think, a week after that little bonding session with the producers. But Ami Faku was not there the second time around. She just heard
Oh,
that Motion and Shimza are now on the song. I was like, okay, she was like, okay, sure, let's do it. We didn't really know if the song was gonna like be what it is today. It was just testing. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Well, I'm definitely having some trouble here. So if someone brand new is trying to get into the industry and they're trying to find a way, you've got your hope. Oh, that's what I thought, that we were losing him. So we've lost Mr. Kaybee. Hopefully he'll be able to jump back in. Hopefully. But yeah, if you're looking to get hold of him, jump in his DMs and he'll answer you. Hopefully he can jump in. Okay, well, that was the interview with Prince Kaybee. We're going to catch up with him again. Don't worry, very soon. We'll do another one of these, definitely again is. So let's say thank you very much to Prince Kaybee. Thank you very much to the guys over there for Let's Get That Done. We're going to get into more of that later on. This is the Beat 103.6 Drums Radio, a link up for this massive interview. Thank you so much, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. We'll keep these going and keep these banging out. Mr. Silk, I'm out.